Hello and welcome back to Exothermic Plays Games. I'm Exothermic and I've been doing a daily countdown of my 366 favorite video games of all time. Coming in at number 16 is Portal 2. I owe you all a disclaimer. When I ranked Thomas Was Alone as my 29th favorite game, I said it was the highest ranked puzzle game on my rankings. Well, Portal 2 does have an awful lot of puzzles, and there's a strong argument it's straight up a puzzle game. However, due to the action components, I don't think it falls so squarely into that category. That being said, if we're just talking about the puzzle aspects, I'd probably still put Thomas Was Alone a little higher than Portal 2, though the spectacle of Portal is certainly much better. And the spectacle sure matters here. Portal 2 is the follow-up to Valve's overwhelmingly unexpected hit game from 2007. The first Portal game felt almost closer to a tech demo than an actual full-blown game, and this sequel? It's a game. Like a whole lot of game. It's about 4 times as long of a story, with way more variety to the puzzles, new mechanics, and twice as many characters. That puts us at 4 whole characters. Look at that. As a reminder, at the end of the first Portal game, and spoiler alert, if that's not obvious for the sequel, then I don't know what to tell you. Actually, if you want to skip all of the story spoilers for this game, check the timestamp in the description to skip ahead to talking about the co-op mode. But anyways, at the end of the first game, you kill GLaDOS, the maniacal supercomputer, and then try to escape Aperture's testing facility and get captured and, well, thrown back in. The game asked a lot of questions and then provided basically no answers. Who really is Aperture Science? Why is Shell there? How long have you been there? How has nobody investigated this place? Like, damn. Well, some of those questions get answered in this game. Not all. The game kicks off with a flashback of being stored basically in a room with automated services keeping you safe and, well, alive. And then it flashes forward, certainly after things have fallen apart from GLaDOS's demise. You're awoken by a personality core like the ones you destroyed to beat her up, and only this one is certifiably not GLaDOS. His name is Wheatley, and he's a funny little dude, and, a bumbling idiot. But he's your bumbling idiot, and for better or for worse, you're stuck with him. Wheatley is hilarious. In fact, this game is hilarious, and as you start navigating through the ruins of the testing chambers, looking for a way out, you may notice that many of them are the same ones from the start of the first game, working as a tutorial for new players, but also a phenomenal callback for the veterans with signs that you've been unconscious for a very long time. And apparently, we're not the only person remaining when you took out GLaDOS, because there was what appears to have been a whole civilization or something of people that painted like tales of your victory on the walls and stuff, and it's wild and actually really pretty and very cool. Unfortunately, in Wheatley's idiocy, as he tries to get you out of there, you actually bring GLaDOS back to life. Great job. As great as the character was, with all of its sass and quips at your expense, she's back with a vengeance and immediately recognizes you.
I've been really busy being dead. You know, after you murdered me.
You did what? Oh no! No, 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 no! Oh no, 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 no!
Okay, look, we both said...
Taking out Wheatley, GLaDOS grabs you and drops you right back into the testing chambers. Or at least, what's left of them. She's working on rebuilding the whole facility, but, you know, you gotta get to work. A nice big chunk of this game is testing with GLaDOS again, though this time, she's far more sinister and straight up trying to, you know, kill you the whole time. The puzzles through this section are reminiscent of the first title, though there's a lot more, and the individual rooms are much longer and even more intricate as well, with new tools and mechanisms like launch pads, laser beams, bridges made out of light, and all of this stuff interacts with the portals, so you can like launch yourself through, or the laser beams can go through to activate switches and puzzles or burn turrets. Oh, speaking of the turrets, there's a lot more to do with the turrets. There's different types of turrets, but also their personality has been expanded. I'll get to that a bit. It's all great. It's a blast working with GLaDOS in your ear all of the time, and there's loads of laughs and delightful puzzles. But did we really go through all of this trouble for this great big sequel to get, like, more of the same, I guess? No. Eventually, through all of this testing, things get turned off on GLaDOS, and who else appears but Wheatley again? How is he alive? Well, that's not explained directly in the game. But apparently, according to Valve, he activated a spare core. Somehow. And really, I kind of prefer the idea that it makes absolutely no sense how he came back, because it just accentuates how silly and dumb the character is. But he is back and is there to rescue you, running around with Wheatley. He continues to exhibit how much of an idiot he is, but there's at least a plan, or as some might call it, the semblance of a plan.
Trust me, it's an easier way out than whatever asinine plan you had.
Wait, where are you going? Where are you going?
Oh look, there's a D. You probably can't see it. Get closer.
You have to disrupt the turret production, and he doesn't know how to do that, so you figure it out. Turrets really did step up as pseudo-characters in this game, with a much larger range of personality, and there's these, like, dud turrets, and the idea is you have to start making all of the new turrets be dud turrets instead of productive turrets, and they're so funny. Like, they're just like, I'm gonna get you. Oh, whoops, never mind. And they're hilarious little guys. After that, you need to deal with GLaDOS' neurotoxin, and again, Wheatley has no idea how to do that, but you figure it out. Severing the tubes causes the whole generator for the neurotoxin to implode, apparently. Not sure what the engineering is like there, but hey, we're talking about a company that made a gun that obliterates every known law of space and time, but couldn't figure out how to not kill themselves. So I'll take what we can get. Once that's all situated, you confront GLaDOS again, and she tries to kill you a bit quicker than the last time, and obviously none of it works. So then Wheatley overrides the whole situation and takes control of the facility away from GLaDOS. Of all the things that Wheatley doesn't know how to do, running this facility is the thing he knows the least how to do. In fact, that was literally the point of his creation. GLaDOS explains she figured out who Wheatley is, and it's one of the funniest jokes in this game. He was a personality core created experimentally to attach to her, and what he was supposed to do was make her stupid. He is stupidity incarnate and is designed to suck at everything he ever does forever. Unfortunately for you, he starts power tripping a bit and decides he hates you and GLaDOS and sends you both to die while he does whatever it is he wants to do, like turning GLaDOS into a potato. She's a potato now. Tons of starch. The whole falling sequence is some of the greatest dialogue in the whole game, and there's a ton of great dialogue in this game, as you are about to see. You wind up landing deep in the ruins of an old and secret Aperture Science facility. GLaDOS is gone somewhere. You know, Potato doesn't really survive a lot. Wheatley is gone, and it's just you, all alone, by your lonesome. Well, you and Cave Johnson, of course. Cave Johnson is the founder of Aperture Science, and if you thought the concepts behind the company were ridiculous, just wait until you meet the man. He is, of course, long dead at this point, and what you're hearing is pre-recorded messages he made for people in testing that would automatically play based on test subject actions. It's a really awesome parallel to how GLaDOS tests with you and observes and stuff, but done with lesser technology because computers just weren't there yet, right? And it's really awesome how we see the idea that Aperture of the 1950s and 60s was doing the same thing as Aperture of whatever year it's supposed to be in the first Portal, and the way that they keep that consistent with the limited technology is a very cool bit of world building. If you haven't been able to tell yet, he's voiced brilliantly by Academy Award-winning J.K. Simmons. I so adore that man, and he's perfect at this kind of humor. All of his stories about the company and the way he addresses the testers is just absolutely hilarious, and Cave is easily the best part about this game. Importantly, he could never run this company without the help of his faithful assistant, Carolyn. More on that in a moment. While you're exploring these old testing facilities, you're experimenting with something different than the portal gun. You still have it, and definitely still have to use it in order to navigate the dilapidated architecture, but what you're testing for is gel. There's two kinds of gel. Blue gel is extremely bouncy. No, the gel isn't bouncy. Anything that touches it is. Look, again, these are the smartest dumb people that have ever lived. So if you can trampoline around, that's a lot of fun. The orange gel, however, makes you really fast. It essentially eliminates any friction and also speeds you up. Kind of like the speed launchers in Sonic a little bit, if you know what I'm talking about. While both gels are a lot of fun on their own, when you combine them with applications from the Portal gun, it's the best physics puzzles ever made, and short of a Portal 3 with something else equally groundbreaking, and I'm guessing this is one of the reasons we have not gotten Portal 3, short of, the story reasons we'll get to, I'm really not sure anything's ever going to top it. Seriously, I cannot understate how much the gels elevated this game from great to amazing in a class all its own. Eventually, you find GLaDOS again, still a potato, and you work together to get back up to the newer facility, but not before GLaDOS figures out that her consciousness is Carolyn, and you learn how Cave Johnson eventually died as well. It turns out that the key to making the portal gun work is dust from the moon, and that's actually quite toxic to people, and it killed him. These revelations, especially the part about GLaDOS, is definitely interesting. She's not thrilled about having been a human, considering she spent her entire time as a robot looking down on them as inferior, which is, why she killed them all. So you get back up to the top, and Wheatley's really terrible at running the facility. If he keeps it up, he'll blow up the whole place, killing you both. I'm going to just skip to the end here. You stop him. You're a hero, whatever. He's an incompetent fool. You open a portal to the surface of the moon, and everything gets sucked in. Wheatley is ejected into the vacuum of space, but GLaDOS, surprisingly, because she's able to, gain control of the facility again, saves you and delivers this amazing monologue about how it's too hard to kill you, so she might as well find an easier solution and simply lets you go. Oh, and you get a little chorus of singing turrets, which is cute and fun, and the companion cube is back. Oh man, little guy, super scorched up, but I missed it. The single player on Portal 2 is quite a wild ride and brilliantly written, with some of the best puzzles of any game ever made. But it's not the only thing going on here, as there's also a two-player co-op mode. The biggest difference between the two Portal games is that this one is not solely a single-player experience. The co-op offers tremendous split-screen or online play for 2 players, and there's a ton of great puzzles here too. Each player is one of 2 robots, and you have your own set of portals. One's controlling different shades of blue, the other is controlling different shades of orange. There's not much of a real story here, but GLaDOS is still around for this. She offers her usual witty, hilarious banter as you struggle through the puzzles together. I roped my friend Andy into recording this with me, and he had never actually played Portal 2 yet, so it was a wonderful opportunity. I hadn't actually played the co-op on PC yet, only doing it on console previously, and I was delighted to see the features that were present for online play there. There's a variety of ways to signal information to the other player, like you have a little laser pointer thing, and you can send quick messages, but there's also a built-in voice chat, of course. But the best tool at your disposal is the ability to hold down a button, and the other player's screen just simply appears in the corner of yours. This is awesome for all of the times we're separated from each other and have to understand what the other can see in order to give and receive direction. Importantly, I said the best way to share information. The most fun way to interact with one another is the variety of emotes you can do, like playing rock, paper, scissors, or high-fiving, or dancing. Throughout this whole cooperative campaign, the robots now increasingly show humanizing qualities in their behavior, much to GLaDOS's dismay, and she really takes it out on you, especially if you're the blue player. She did not like me. I was the butt of many jokes, hilarious jokes, but definitely all at my expense. Portal 2 is pretty damn close to a perfect game. The single-player story is incredible, massively expanding on one of the greatest short stories ever told in the industry, and the character dialogue nails it every single time anyone speaks, creating this feeling that I can't miss anything. The expanded world building this title offers enriches an already curious setting, and every character is memorable beyond belief. Any game would kill to get one character from this game, and Portal 3 has 3 of them that are all so great. And Shell is fine, she's there. On the mechanics side of things, the game's signature style of puzzles gets a massive upgrade with new tools, and the gel stages of the game are definitely the highlight. But in the co-op, these improvements are the most apparent. It turns out that doubling the amount of portals available and giving you a second body more than doubles the craziness you can get up to. It's a great thing to have someone to bounce ideas off of, because I think both Andy and myself would have gotten really stuck really fast if we couldn't talk things through together. And if that's not thinking with portals, I don't know what is. Join me tomorrow as I talk about my 15th favorite game, where I go pretty off the rails in what I would describe as my guilty pleasure JRPG.